welcome to the second part of our exclusive interview with Gareth Potts. Let's catch up with Ben and Gareth.
I suppose another question for me would be, from a highlight point of view, your time in China, is there one that sticks out as a particular moment or moments that you had?
Yeah, because the first year that I got invited to play in the Masters, the Chinese 8-ball tournament was, they invited 8 international players. So they invited a couple of players from English 8-ball, they invited some from the American 9-ball, and they invited some from the snooker to play in a Masters tournament against the top 8 Chinese players. So there were 16 players total. I was lucky enough to get an invite to that tournament, and then again I was lucky enough to actually win that event. And the only thing I knew about Chinese 8-ball before I went out there was what I'd watched a little bit on YouTube. I knew that the reason why Stephen Hendry had retired from snooker was that he'd signed a contract in China playing Chinese 8-ball. Other than that, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how big it was. I didn't know the rules. The only thing I knew was I'd watched a couple of Stephen's. At this point, though, I think there was only 2 matches on YouTube.
Wow.
So I just looked at it on YouTube. Instantly just thought, wow, this looks like a really tough game and a game that I'd like. So I had a bit of a specialised cue made because I've got a bit of a hybrid cue of an in-between of a snooker cue and an American cue. I travelled out there 5 days before the tournament, practiced for 5 days, and like I say, I was lucky enough to win the event. Off the back of that, I signed a contract to Joy Billiards, who are the table manufacturing company, and then I was lucky enough to be able to win the event the year after. As a part of the deal, I got a table and stuff, so right. I was able to sort of, and to be honest, it was more like a new challenge for me because I'd won 4 world titles at the English 8-ball, and I felt like I'd achieved and done what I wanted to do. So it was perfect timing, really, that it came along, and I was able to have a new challenge in my life, really. And the fact that it went so well early on. But I'd say the 2 main highlights were certainly winning those. And if I had to choose one, I think it would be the first one, just because, like I said, I'd not played the game before. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So to be able to go over there and play a game that their game on their patch on their tables, and to be able to just basically learn it in 5 days, and
it's unbelievable.
So I would have to choose winning the first Masters. Although the second one was good in a lot of ways, I would have to choose winning the first Masters.
The first one was the sweetest. Yeah. Good. Sounds amazing. I didn't realise that you had 5 days to get your game together and get out there.
Yeah, and to be honest, that was pretty much the same for all of the invited players. By the way, that wasn't just me. Obviously, the top 8 Chinese players have been playing this game, since they were in nappies. But for the 8, other than Stephen, there was many of us that didn't really know much about Chinese 8-ball at this time, because then it was just about to start getting big, and these companies were injecting a lot of money actually into these events with the live TV and the big prize money. Yeah. So it was the same for everybody, really. And like I said, the game actually sort of, the way that the game is set up, I think it just sort of lends itself to being attractive to all different cue sport players. Yeah. The snooker players think, well, it's just a bit of a smaller snooker table, playing 8-ball, and then the American players think, well, it's 8-ball, which they play on American tables with their same size balls. Yeah. And then the English players think, well, it's 8-ball at the end of the day. So everybody thinks that they're going to be able to be good at it. So I think, again, that's the reason why it lends itself to being so popular. And that's what they did with the first event. They created an event that had the best players from every single cue sport discipline. Yeah. So it was almost like they used to have a tournament called the Lindrum Cup, where they used to play all the different cue sports, and it's almost like that, but in one game. Wow! So the fact that I was able to win that, and then that be my new career now. I'm signed out there, and I absolutely love it. I love the game. I love the table. I think the rules are the best set of rules, in my opinion, that you can devise for 8-ball.
So what's different about those rules? What makes those rules so likeable, unique?
Well, I think what they've done is, to start off with, they've simplified the rules, which for TV purposes that had to be done. Yeah. Because I think 8-ball rules. English 8-ball rules, I think the problem with it is you can go down the pub and have a game with your friends and you'll play one set of rules.
Yeah.
You can maybe then go to the pub down the road and they're playing a different set of rules.
Yeah.
I understand at the top level that roughly the rules are pretty much the same, but they're still complicated.
Right.
Where I think they've simplified the rules as much as they possibly can, and what they've done, for me, the main thing is they've eliminated all of the luck out of the rules. So there's no flukes basically. So you have to call the shot that you're playing. If it doesn't
with
go,
every shot?
With every shot,
Wow.
unless it's obvious, you don't have to call it. But
Yeah.
basically, for example, if I pot a ball down the cushion,
Yeah.
or if I go for a ball down the cushion, it rattles, goes on the top rail, goes
Yeah.
in the opposite pocket. That's a foul, loss of turn.
Wow.
You can play a skill shot, but you have to call it. So, for example, if you've got your ball over the hole,
Yeah.
and I've got my ball over the opposite corner, I can pot my ball and call your ball in the same shot.
Yeah.
Which again just speeds up the process.
Yeah.
And there's no two shots. So a foul. So if you pot the cue ball, a
Yeah.
foul is just ball in hand, and I can just place the cue ball anywhere on the table.
Anywhere, shoot up and
Shoot
back?
up anywhere. Literally put it anywhere. Put it in this corner pocket if you want. You can literally just put it anywhere on the whole table. And what they've, like I say, what they've done is they've just simplified the rules to make them viewer friendly, basically,
Yeah.
and make them super attacking.
Wow.
So we don't end up with a situation where we've got a cluster of balls over this pocket
Yeah.
and cluster of balls over there, because when you've only got a certain amount of live hours on TV, they couldn't have, let's say, me and you taking up 45 minutes of that playing one frame, and the viewers are going to go on board of this.
I don't think it would take you 45 minutes to beat me, Gareth, to be honest.
But yeah, that's
the angle.
That's the angle of
Yeah.
make it more attacking,
Yeah.
make it more viewer friendly, and make it exciting to watch, because
Yeah.
that's what it has to be. I understand that there's a certain element of chess behind 8-ball, certainly English 8-ball, because the rules are quite complex.
Yeah.
So there is that chess side to it, and I think the purist of 8-ball like that side to it, because you think, oh, he's played a clever shot there, or he's played
Yeah.
it. But for just a layman sitting at home watching, I think it has to be simplified and it has to be made exciting,
Yeah.
and that's what they've done.
Wow. Okay. So another thing I was thinking. So you're brand new into China. You've got your invite. You've flown in. Had you been to China previously?
No, I'd never been before.
So first time.
Yeah.
So how was that? What was the reception like? Talk to us about that.
Well, it's hard to describe, especially coming from an English 8-ball background, where it's certainly not as popular as other sports. And in China, it is one of their main sports. It is one of their national sports. So all of a sudden, after being a little bit successful over there in their events, you sort of instantly become quite famous.
Yeah.
And the reception, because you remember that they love cue sports. It's it's just like a different mindset to the Chinese people. So.
Yeah.
They embrace that, and they sort of look upon the top sports stars in the cue sports, like I said, as the people in this country look upon the footballers or the cricketers or the golfers or whatever top sport you might compare it to. So it is almost like living two different lives, to be honest. When I'm here back in the UK, I still do some of the English stuff, as in I do some coaching and do some exhibitions. I've got me coaching days that are exclusive through Home Leisure.
Yeah.
But as for tournament wise in the UK, I don't play any tournaments anymore, and I just focus all my time now in China.
Brilliant. Okay, so Gareth, look, thanks ever so much for taking the time to come and see us today at Home Leisure Direct.
Yeah.
It's been amazing talking to you as normal, and I wish you all the best
Thank
from
you
the
very
entire team
much.
here for the forthcoming year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem.
you.